What's up everyone and welcome to RC Retro. Just recently my family and I went away on holiday to Greece for a whole month. Again. What could I say? We love Greece. I mean, after all, we are Greek. So why would we not love Greece? But you can imagine, not a lot of RC building or running took place for a whole month, and it was driving me crazy. The only thing I can do is shop. And I was pretty good for the first 2 weeks while we were away. I really didn't purchase a lot. And then I hit the 2-week mark and it was all over from there and I just went crazy. So in this episode, I'm going to bring you guys up to date as to what arrived to the RC Retro channel while I was away. And there are a few other RCs, parts, and bodies that arrived the week right before I left that I never got an opportunity to showcase on the channel. So I'm going to share all of that with you starting right now. I'm going to bring the camera over and we're going to take a look at some of this stuff first. So first off, got some stickers or decals from MCI, Losi JRXT, and TRF 501X stickers for some upcoming projects. This is a great way to segue into my next parts because for my XXX, I do have a BK2, Brian Kinwald 2, that had the yellow parts on it. And I don't know if you realize how hard it is to get some of those yellow parts. But there was a guy on one of the Losi Facebook groups who had these, and I was like, I'll take them. And they're used, and that's going to be perfect because I'm going to put that on my XXX BK2, which doesn't have the yellow parts. So that's great. I'm going to throw those on there. So that's going to be something I'm going to, in the upcoming weeks, get to. And then, you know, I also have a Losi XX lightweight polished motor plate. I've been on the hunt for one of these because I have a XX and I also have a, well, I think it's a XX CR, and this I think was with the XX CR. So this is brand new. Yes, this cost a pretty penny. Okay, speaking of the TRF 501X. Gotta thank my man Keith because he sent me a TRF 501X World's Edition body. It's a little different than the TRF 501X body. There's a little bubble over here, but it's an original body. And I went with a TRF-esque paint scheme on here, just with some different colors because I felt like I started to have too many of those pink, blue, silver, and white bodies. But I sent this over to my man Larry over in Florida, and I got this painted up. This came out awesome. Under tray and the wing, I'm very happy about that. So that arrived while I was away. Also, he painted up my Losi 22.4 body. That came out pretty neat. That out. Cool. What else we got? Got some Jake Concept Goosebumps for the rear. 2 sets of those. I got these to try out. These are the drop step rear wheels. Very reminiscent of what was run on the original Losi JRXT. I got these. J Concepts came out with something very similar to these with a bar on it also. They released those because I guess a lot of people are going to be using those for dirt for the big race coming up in October, sponsored by Team Associated, that's taking place in Vegas. Still haven't made up my mind yet if I'm going to be attending that. But if I do go, my wife's coming with me. She's like, I'm coming. And I was like, there's going to be a lot of RC time. She's like, that's okay. I'll be at the spa or in the casino gambling. My money. Also got me a can of PS17. You know what this is for my Masami, which I'm going to show all of you in a second. Then we got this came in also right before I left for vacation. This is a whole TRF toolkit. Got everything in here, from the drivers to the hex wrenches. Got the, what is it, 1.5, 2, and I don't know what else I got over here. The 2.5. So I got all three of those. Nice. And then I got the 5.5 and 7 millimeter wrenches. Reamer. This is all sold as a set, by the way, on Buy that I won. Damper pliers, shock pliers. And this is like a little toolkit stand. So that's pretty neat. I think the only thing I'm missing from here is the little wrenches. I think there's 2 of them that come in 2 different colored tips. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll probably get those also to complete the whole set. And then I can use these for my Tamiya builds. Very exciting. That's pretty neat. Okay, I'm very happy about that. That's like all the little things that came. So let's get to the big things, the boxes, and see what kits we have or some other bodies that I want to share with all of you. Of course, I got an RC10 Masami Hirosaka edition. I've just been away for the last month, so I haven't been able to showcase it on the channel. Same thing happened last year when we were away. The RC10T came out and was shipped out to everybody, and didn't really have that on the channel other than me showing you that I have it. Still sitting in a box. The one you see up there is actually an original one. Am I going to build this right away? Probably not. I didn't even order the graphite chassis either, or the carbon fiber chassis, whatever it is. I think it's like, what, $150, $170? I think I'm going to be good with the aluminum one. But yeah, and that's what the green paint was for. A lot of people. Also arriving while I was away is a Tamiya Monster Beetle Black Edition. Now these are getting harder and harder to find, as apparently on all the websites I went to try and buy one of these, it says discontinued. So apparently Tamiya is not making any more at the moment, but we all know at some point, whether it's a couple months from now or a couple years from now, they'll probably put this out again. But for right now, I really wanted one, and so I found someone on eBay. Again, you know, I paid a little bit more than what these actually go for online, or actually what they actually went for, because I bought it from eBay. But that's okay, because I really wanted it, because during our last big race event at Fix-It Phil's house on the Deepwood Speedway, my Blackfoot went to crap. It broke in like 3 different areas. And so I figured it's time to retire the Blackfoot. I want another monster truck, and so I like the Monster Beetle. I have an original Monster Beetle mint, never ran. So I want another one to run, and I really like the black one. I think it's really, really cool. And so I'm going to build it sooner than later because I want to get it out on my track, the RC Retro Raceway. All right, so with that, expect to see this on the channel soon. So the week before we left for Greece, this all arrived from my friend Chris. Starting with a mint Losi JRXT. Now, when I say mint, let me explain. The body is a reproduction body with reproduction stickers, but the actual rolling chassis is mint. Original wheels and tires, everything else on here, no scratches or anything. Motor plate is mint. Everything is mint, 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 mint. So that's awesome, because the Losi JRXT is my favorite stadium truck. It's my favorite runner as far as a stadium truck. And now I'm happy to have another one that's in mint condition with the really beautiful box art painted body. We're just gonna get that back on there. Cool. Great. Looks great. A little dusty because I've been away for a whole month. Also, Chris painted me up my Losi JRXT body. Now this is an original body, and I do have the original stickers, decals, and I went with something very different, and there's a little story behind this body and the paint scheme, and that'll be for another time when I do my XX restoration. So hopefully I'll get to that sooner than later. But I like it. Very purple. And then also Chris did me a huge favor and painted up my King Cab body. He even put the stickers on for me. Check this out. I have an original mint Nissan King Cab. It was when I first got back into the hobby. I tried to paint the body myself, kind of messed it up. Still looks good, but for this time around, I had my man Chris do it, or asked him to do it. He did it. Does amazing work. Awesome. Stickers look great, and I can't wait to get this on my King Cab for it to be displayed. All right, so that's a few more things that either arrived right before I left for Greece or arrived during Greece, and got a lot more to show you guys. All right, some buys. This was the first kit when I caved after 2 weeks of being in Greece. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of the TA04. And so I was looking and I was like, you know, the TA05 is a pretty cool on-road car. And then I came across this kit, the IFSR, which is like the fully hopped up version of the TA05 with a lot of blue bling, as I'm showing you guys some pictures. And so I'll eventually get around to building this. I'll open up the box and show you some of those images. I'm not going to do an unboxing right now, but eventually I'll do an unboxing and build of this. Doesn't come with a body. I'll have to get something pretty cool painted up. I have something in mind, but I'm going to hold off on sharing that with you until, you know, we actually do the build. So then we have this kit, which it doesn't even say the name of it on the outside or have any of the images. Neither does this box. Very plain and generic. But I have a Tamiya M08, which is a rear wheel drive car. And I know that Tamiya just released the M07R, I think it is, which comes with a lot of the hopped up blue parts. And I was looking on Tamiya base at the TA05, and then there's a part where you could, you know, click on variants of the TA05, and then this showed up. This is a Tamiya TA05 M4, like an M chassis, but four-wheel drive. So up until going away on vacation, I just thought that the M chassis was front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, but Tamiya actually at one point put out a four-wheel drive M chassis. Now, the thing with this is that it runs a smaller motor. What is it? Not a 540. What is it? Like a 360 or 350? Whatever size that motor is that came in the Grasshopper. This runs four-wheel drive. But apparently, you can get a sport-tuned version of that little motor as well. So that's very interesting. And of course, when I Googled it, what popped up? A video from Keith, RC Icons, building one of these. So Keith has one of these. And I watched this whole build video, and it's very interesting. And I'm looking forward to building this at some point on the channel. All right, on to yet another one. All right, this was the last thing I purchased off Buy, and I got this for dirt cheap. I think it was like $60. This is a Mercedes-Benz CLK DTM. based on the TL01 chassis, and this is mint. I don't know if it was ever ran before, but there's no scratches along the bottom. And I love this car because of the body. Now, I have this body. What was missing from my body was the wing, and these are really hard to find. And so when I saw this, I was like, all right, I'm just going to buy it just for the rear wing, because while the body doesn't have any scratches or scuffs or anything like that on there, there is a lot of discoloration with the stickers on here, and mine is definitely in better condition, just missing actually the Mercedes symbol in the front and the wing in the rear, and I'll take those off of this and put it on mine. But then when I opened it up, I really couldn't tell from the pictures online, but when I opened it up, mint, never ran. So I'm just going to take my body, put it on here, Mercedes emblem, the rear wing, and going to display this awesome looking car. Behold, an empty box. No, I'm just kidding. In here is a new built, never ran, mint condition Losi JRXT. And it comes with the original body, unpainted, and the original sticker decal sheet. Now, I'm not going to take everything out and show all of you. I'm just going to open it up and tilt it forward and let you see everything is in there. Original body, stickers, wheels and tires. This is mint. And this is a kit that I'm going to feature on the channel sooner than later. As a matter of fact, right after this video is over, I am going to repackage this up and send it out to my buddy Chris, who is going to paint up the box art for me. And then this will definitely be not even a shelf queen, a trophy car. And I'm glad I was able to get my hands on one of these, because this, for me, I feel like this is a piece of RC history. Like, if there was like an RC museum, this is one of the cars that would be featured in the museum. I feel like it's a piece of RC history. It's very important to the hobby. And obviously, I have a JRXT Mini, but you know, we were all scratching our heads as to why Losi did the minis and not a full-size 110 version. But whatever, is what it is. Now I have this, and it's going to look awesome, and I can't wait to get everything back and then put it all together and do a video on it to showcase it on the channel and share with all of you, and I think you'll all like that very much. All right, so I'm going to take this, close this up. Now, I did not get this from Buy. This was on eBay, and so you know, once I say eBay, I paid top dollar for it, and I was going back and forth with the owner, you know, over the course of a week. Now, I had a lot of time because I was laying on a beach in Europe, so I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep going back and forth, and then finally we were able to agree upon a price, and I think for what I paid, it was reasonable, and you know, it's going to be awesome in my little glass case out in the other room to be displayed, and yeah, JRXT. Love it. All right, so that's about it for this episode. A lot of stuff arrived. A lot of stuff. And I think this is going to hold me over until well after the holiday season. Between some of my builds, restorations, running on the RC Retro Raceway. You know, if you're not aware, I built a backyard track, a small track, but hey, listen, something is better than nothing, right? I think that's all going to last me and give me plenty of content and projects until the spring. And, you know, maybe around then I'll start shopping around for some new kits. But until then, I'm going to try to stay off of Buy and eBay as much as possible, because I don't want to be tempted with anything. And I really would like to focus on what I have right here in front of me. All right, so thank you so much for watching this lengthy video and seeing all these very cool vintage retro RCs that arrived to the channel while I was away. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you guys all in my next. Take care.